Greetings, Alaska, on this very important day. Today, all across our great state, all across our great nation, communities will gather to pay homage to those who gave their all in defense of our nation. Memorial Day in Alaska means so much to us as it does to every American. With more veterans and military members per capita than any other state in the country, we know firsthand of the sacrifice of our brothers and sisters in the armed forces who have made to protect our great nation and our freedoms. One of the most moving and satisfying things that I have seen while serving as your U.S. Senator is how much Alaska's communities, from the smallest to the biggest, support our military and support our veterans. It is a special, unique aspect of who we are as Alaskans, as if embedded in our DNA. To our Gold Star families who have lost a loved one in the service to our country, please know that you have the support and prayers of Alaskans all across the state as we remember your sacrifice, particularly on this important day. We are here with you. We are supporting you. Now, on Memorial Day, we remember our fallen, those brave American men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice to defend our country. That, of course, is the appropriate focus of this important day in America. But we should always memorialize this simple and remarkable fact. America's military members, especially those who gave their lives, have done more to liberate men and women across the globe from tyranny and oppression than any other force in human history. Think about it. Hundreds of millions of people. Because of their sacrifices, we can say confidently, America is an exceptional nation. When others have come to dominate places throughout the world, think about it. Last century, Nazi Germany, the Soviet Union, Imperial Japan. America came to liberate. More than one time, we have literally saved the world from falling into a dark abyss of tyranny. And every American, regardless of political party, takes pride in that simple fact. In February, I was in Hawaii for Marine Corps Reserve duty. While I was there, I had the opportunity to visit Battleship Row at Pearl Harbor, where on December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attacked all 7 of our battleship positions. What's amazing about American resilience is every one of those battleships came back to service in World War II, except for 2. Now, one of those battleships that we all know that did not come back was the USS Arizona. Over 1,100 sailors went down with that ship on that fateful day. Most were laid to rest and are still laid to rest at sea in Pearl Harbor. While it is hard to visit this memorial and not feel the gravity of their sacrifices and those of their families, it is also a place of pride and American resilience, because Pearl Harbor is also the site of the mighty USS Missouri, the Mighty Mo as it was called. The Japanese ended World War II on that ship when they surrendered to the American admirals and generals in Tokyo Bay right there. We recently commemorated the 80th anniversary of the attacks at Pearl Harbor, a place where 2,403 Americans died. But that serves as a testament to the American spirit, to our commitment to freedom and liberty. And the men and women who lost their lives there will always be remembered for their sacrifices, because those sacrifices were not in vain. Let me tell you another place in the world where American sacrifices were not in vain. I recently visited the beaches of Normandy. I had never been to Normandy, where the French still fly our American flags all over the place on their beaches to honor the incredible sacrifices our military members, mostly the U.S. Army and Navy, made nearly 78 years ago. there is a beautiful American cemetery overlooking the beach in Normandy. Some of you may remember it's actually the cemetery in the scene from the movie Saving Private Ryan. One of my favorite quotes from an American leader is from Colin Powell, where he references this idea that America in World War II and all of our other wars did not come to conquer. He said, "The only land we asked for after World War II was enough land to bury our dead." That's the kind of nation we are. The American cemetery in Normandy is one of those cemeteries that are dotted all over Europe that he was talking about. I visited an Alaskan buried there, William E. Phelps, a private who is one of 10,000 American soldiers buried there. At dawn on that day, June 6, 1944, brave Americans alongside our allies, primarily the Canadians and the British, stormed the beaches of Nazi-occupied France and began their costly journey to liberate a continent from Nazi tyranny. One of the most moving sights to see when you see those beaches at Normandy are the cliffs our Army Rangers climbed. They are called the cliffs at Pointe du Hoc. They're 110 feet high on a very dangerous mission. Many knew that they would die, but they climbed anyways. Ronald Reagan once described the scene beautifully in a speech he gave at Pointe du Hoc.
The Rangers looked up and saw the enemy soldiers, the edge of the cliffs, shooting down at them with machine guns and throwing grenades. And the American Rangers began to climb. They shot rope ladders over the face of these cliffs and began to pull themselves up. When one Ranger fell, another would take his place. When one rope was cut, a Ranger would grab another and begin his climb again. Soon, one by one, the Rangers pulled themselves over the top, and in seizing the firm land at the top of these cliffs, they began to seize back the continent of Europe. 225 came here. After 2 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. These are the boys of Pointe du Hoc. These are the men who took the cliffs. These are the champions who helped free a continent. These are the heroes who helped end a war.
I can confidently tell you now what President Reagan and countless Americans have said before. The sacrifices he spoke about were worth it. Freedom is worth it. Tyranny is worth defeating. And as our founding fathers said about the first battle our nation fought, it is better to die fighting for freedom than to live as a slave. So on this Memorial Day, let us make a promise to those who came before us. Let us promise to always honor our dead and their sacrifices and those of their families. Let us promise to always fight for freedom so that we can say confidently to our children and grandchildren that it was all worth it, and so that our people and our country will always remain free. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful, meaningful Memorial Day.